Yeah, just a couple of days ago, Erlene and I, Christopher and Charlie were all in the shower together.
This is the Greg Cote Show with Greg Cote.
Pardon it.
Here's your host, Greg Cote.
Very excited here. Very excited. Ron Magill is joining us. Friend, co-author, and retiring Zoo Miami legend. He's going to join us and explain why he announced his retirement from Zoo Miami, which is official on May 10th. And we want to ask him a little bit about Punch the Monkey, and he's also going to reveal what's next on his horizon after 46 years at the zoo.
I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of done with this Punch the Monkey story.
Oh, yeah?
I just feel like, where are we going with this story? I get it. He's being picked on. It was fun the first couple days, but now it's just like everyone wants to talk about it. No one really has anything interesting. Maybe Ron will change my mind here, but like
everyone something. Well, before we let Ron in, he's here. Greg, what's the proper way to spell Punch the Monkey, like to punctuate it? Because if I just say Punch the Monkey without a comma or a colon or something, it sounds like I'm telling somebody to punch the monkey.
I think it's punch colon
the monkey.
The monkey.
I would say the monkey, comma, Punch. Everyone's talking about the Punch. The monkey named Punch, right?
Not the most marketable.
Right. We don't want to punch the monkey. That would be cruel and unusual punishment. Hey, why don't we let Ron in? Hi, Ron.
Hello, Ron.
Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry about that.
No
That's
problem.
okay.
Thank you for working us in here.
No worries.
Yeah. It's interesting to talk to you right now because this is the first time we've spoken since your big retirement announcement. And I had a feeling it was coming. I think it caught a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah, I guess so. I was not prepared for that reaction, Greg. I got to be honest with you. I mean, to be honest with you, I posted that on my social media channels just to tell my friends, listen, this is where I'm going to be moving on. I'm going to be doing different things and let them know where they can find me. But I was totally unprepared for the whirlwind of response that I got. I remember coming to the zoo the next day. I posted it that evening, and the next morning I come to the zoo at 6:00 in the morning, and there are 3 live news trucks in front of the zoo, and I'm thinking, oh my God, something awful happened. I'm thinking, an animal's gotten out, somebody's gotten hurt. What has happened? And I went up to one of the photos. I said, "What's going on?" And he looked at me. He goes, "We're here for you, dummy."
That's hilarious. I think you should put out a social media video now saying, because of the immense reaction, knowing how much you all love me, I've changed my mind. I'm not retiring.
Well, Greg, the thing is that I'm retiring from the county, but I'm not leaving the zoo. And if people listen to the end of my announcement, I'm saying, listen, the great thing is the Zoo Miami Foundation has created this phenomenal position for me where I can really continue doing all the things I do, and even more so, because now I'll have the freedom to go to all the schools I want to go to, all the universities, do all the presentations I want to do. I can concentrate on my endowment, which is the number one focus of my career.
Yep.
The endowment is under the foundation. So now you're here. Now you can focus full time on the endowment. Whereas before, quite frankly, one of the things that I got a little irritated with was the county actually questioned the ethics of me having the endowment. The Ethics Commission questioned me, and some of my leaders did not support me, thinking, well, he's raising money for the foundation. He's not raising money for the zoo. And what really ticked me off, and I want to be totally honest with you, is that, that money I'm raising, quote unquote, for the foundation is paying for zoo employees to go to India to work with elephants, to go to Mexico to work with reptiles, to go around the world. I was sponsoring them through the endowment to do those things, giving scholarships to students to learn about wildlife and conservation, and the zoo taking credit for it. And then they come around and say, well, we don't think this is ethical. Are you serious?
I can understand why dealing with Miami-Dade government was...
God, it just got so bureaucratic and so... I don't know. And again, I don't want to come off as ungrateful. I'm profoundly grateful for what the county's afforded me for 46 years.
Right.
I mean, I've got a great retirement. I've got a great security. I mean, those are all great things, having that job and really doing something that I've loved for so long. I mean, there's that old saying, you do something you love, you never work a day in your life. And really, my job, 46 years, I never really worked.
So I have been in your office, and it's an amazing office, and I write about it a little bit. We write about it a little bit in The Pride of a Lion. It's floor to floor, wall to ceiling, covered in mementos and photos and Michael Jackson and everybody you've met and awards you've won and all this stuff. I pictured you cleaning out your office as part of retirement, but it sounds like you have no need to clean out that office.
Well, I had to clean out that office because I'm moving to a new one and the building next door. So the foundation has been incredibly gracious and generous and giving me the office they're giving me actually a little bigger than the one I'm in now. So I'll have more room for the crap that my wife won't let me bring home.
Okay.
Ron, what are you thinking in terms of like are you gonna I just picture you're gonna buy a place like on the Serengeti somewhere or maybe South Africa. Where's Ron gonna be at?
Well, Ron is going to be at the zoo really for the foreseeable future, but we are certainly looking at a piece of property on the West Coast in Los Angeles because Rita's mom and dad are out there, and they're getting on in age. They're in their 80s, and our daughter lives out there as well. So, there'll come a time where I think we might live bi-coastally, take the misery of July, August, September, and go out to Pacific Palisades and come back here, January, February, and December. That would be the kind of the perfect mix. But I listen, I'm too old now to start thinking about investing in another property someplace. I told Rita, I said, listen, just look at really nice bed and breakfast, and we'll stay there, or whatever these Airbnbs that they do now. You can stay in these $1 million homes for a couple of grand and for a couple of days, and then walk away from it. I'm too old to start getting into buying properties or anything like that.
Yeah.
So Ron, back to your video. I had the pleasure of sitting at your table at Greg's birthday party. My wife and I did.
Yes.
And two things on that. I might have lost her to Rita. Like, all I heard about the entire time, and anytime she talks about that night, she doesn't talk about Greg or his birthday party. She talks about being awkward with Dan and how absolutely gorgeous your wife is. I'm like, I wish you loved me this much.
Listen, I got to be honest with you. I really overstretched when I married my wife. I'm fortunate that she has really, really poor eyesite. But
no. All right,
woman,
this is my second point, Ron. I'm not letting my wife watch your retirement video because I sent that to my friend
God,
whose
whose
wife might.
You must have really blown that up because that was part of the entire staff thing back in the 80s. I look at myself there and I really throw up a little bit in my mouth when I see that picture because I don't know what the hell I was. Listen, I'm being honest with you. I was just trying to balance myself from not falling off the fence, but it looks like I'm freaking John Travolta in zoo clothing.
Nah, I see what Rita saw. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, Ron, for anybody who might be a little bit confused, is it accurate or is it not accurate to say that you are retiring from Zoo Miami? Because I'm even a little confused, and I know you. It sounds like you're still going to be, the
Absolutely.
spokesman who the media calls, and
one of the things that I was really flattered. When I was reading all of these things, I'm thinking to myself, I'm on the couch. My phone started to blow up. I mean, I got calls from CNN, from Good Morning America, saying, "Hey, you're retiring. Are we not going to be able to use you anymore? We're not going to be able to talk to you." And I said, "No." And I started reading all these comments, and my comment to my wife was, "Did I die?" That's what I thought. I said, "It sounds like I died." But and I told her on the positive way, I go, "You know what? The positive thing is that when I do die, it doesn't look like it's going to be so bad. People are not going to say horrible things about me."
Right, there you go.
So that was kind of, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. It was so uplifting. It was so, I was drawn to tears on many occasions reading some of those things, and from people that told me that, I went to their class when they were in third grade and now they tell their kids about me. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? It was like surreal. But then I come to realize, I've been there for 46 years. So I could have gone to a third grade class back in the 80s, and that person could have a kid now who's in a third grade class and talking about that stuff. To me, it doesn't seem like it's been 46 years. It seems like it's blink. But, to that point, I wouldn't be where I am today, and I'm not trying to patronize you guys at all. I tried to make it really clear when I made my little video. If it were not for people like you, Greg, you and Dan, and so much of the South Florida media that embraced me, and you taught me how to be a storyteller. When I started working in the zoo field, people worked with animals because they didn't want to work with people. Okay, these would tend to be reclusive people who were kind of very uncomfortable around people. I wasn't that way as much because my dad was always a very outgoing guy, but I certainly wasn't, "Oh my God, let me tell you about all these animals." But I gradually got to know journalists, got to know people like yourself who taught me how to be a storyteller. And then more importantly, you guys gave me the platform to tell the story. Listen, I'm not naive to the fact that, I would have all these marketing agencies call me and say, well, how'd you get that connection? How did you do this? These organizations to pay marketing and ad agencies a ton of money to try to get, 30 seconds on a Le Batard show. And here I'm going on, once a week or so and getting 10 minutes. And they're going, well, you know how much that's worth? And I'm going, they're friends. I mean, and I don't take that for granted at all, guys. I mean, all the times that you guys have put me on the air, all the times, everybody in the South Florida media has been so kind to me. And that's given me this, I guess, this persona that people think that they, that you're something special when you're really not. I'm no smarter than the average Joe. As a matter of fact, I'm by far the brightest bulb in the chandelier. But I've been really lucky to be exposed to things that I love to do. I've been lucky to travel around the world, get paid for it. It's a scam. It's been a scam for 6 years. It really has been, Greg.
This is what Dan's been saying about your endowment for a while now.
Well, you know what, though? And I made it very clear on that record. The endowment is the thing I'm most proud of in my entire career. And over $1 million of that endowment is a direct result of the Dan Le Batard show and that crew. You guys, what you did, whether it be, money from Highlight, whether it be the listeners from all around the country, all around the world. I mean, I got money from Australia and from Japan from Le Batard listeners. So the power of that show is really overwhelming. And for me, it was hard for me to resonate with me because I always just look at you guys as friends. It's like, I'm just talking to the buddies. I don't realize how many people are listening. That was one of the things that Sábado Gigante, that show for me, because realize I did that show for 27 years. And for me, I never watched it. So I had no idea the power of that show. But I was just in New York celebrating with my wife. People are coming up to me in Times Square, congratulating me on retirement and what I did. Oh my God, Ron Magill from Sábado Gigante. And more often than not, I made an ass of myself on that show. But it made a huge impact on families. And that's what Don Francisco, his real name, Mario Kutzberger, would tell me. He said, Ron, listen, it doesn't matter what they think of you. It matters what kind of connection you're making with them, with the message you want to give. He told me millions of people watch the show, and those people are not necessarily the people that are watching National Geographic or the Discovery Channel or, these documentaries. These are just family people that want to laugh and have fun, and your job is to educate them through entertainment. And that was one of the things that I really learned. And listen, that's what I've learned from you guys too. I mean, there's sometimes when you guys go off the chain and I got to roll my own eyes in my head. I go, my God, these guys are crazy. But at the end of the day, you're making a memorable impact on the listeners. And that's the legacy that they remember.
Yeah. Everybody has a strong attachment to animals. We either love our dog and our cat who live with us, or we're afraid of the shark, or we're fascinated by who would win versus a lion and tiger. Everything about animals interests somebody, and that's why I think people are so drawn to you and what you say. And the Ron Magill Conservation Endowment is a true legacy of yours. I can see why you're proud of it.
But I can't get into this punch the monkey story. I know I don't want to derail us here. God, Ron, am I a jerk? I'm not into it.
I have done no less than a dozen interviews from everybody from Australia to Japan to CNN to Good Morning America on freaking Punch the Monkey.
That's crazy.
And the reality of it is this is not such a rare thing. This is something that happens a lot all the time. But for whatever reason, this thing went viral because you had this, and then they start personifying. Oh my God, he's being bullied. Oh my God, he's going to die. Oh my God, he's going to be fine.
Thank you.
So listen, I'm not saying that it's impossible that he's not going to die, that something could always happen. But the reality is I've seen this over and over and over again. And basically, he's got to earn his keep in the troop. And that's what the bullies are doing. They're letting us say, hey, are you a bully? But once he asserts himself and he starts ingratiating to the rest of the troop, and I've already seen it. I've seen him start grooming him and holding him and stuff like that. And then one asshole will go out there and punch him in the face. And everybody goes, oh my God, they're going to kill Punch. They're going to kill Punch. Stop it. Save him. Stop it, folks. Jesus Christ. We coddle. This is the problem with today's generation.
Yeah.
I'm going off. I'm sounding like my dad now. We coddle so much. We don't let freaking people earn their keep. We don't let them get the respect that they need. All of a sudden, oh my God, protect them. It's like, we're raising kids in a bubble. If I see one more person with all these freaking hand sanitizer every time their kid touches something, sanitizer. This is why all these kids got allergies to everything when they become adults. This is why everybody's blowing their nose. Everybody's sick. Why?
Yes.
expose them to that stuff when they were young. You grew them up in a bubble. I drank out of a hose. I ate dirt. I ate crap. You know how many times I called in sick in 35 years at the county? Zero.
Wow. Zero.
Once.
That's
in 35 years have I called in sick. And the only time I called in sick 35 years ago was because I got bitten by a crocodile.
Now, my grandmother, the great Nana Doogie, used to have an expression, you got to eat a peck of dirt before you die. A peck of dirt. And
a peck is a lot. A peck is not a small amount.
Yeah,
it's like a big sack.
Yeah, I know.
It's like several gallons. And what she meant was, it was like the forerunner of the 5-second rule. What she meant was, if you dropped a grape on the ground, you can just sort of dust off the grape and eat it. You don't have to throw it out.
Exactly. That's the bottom line. You know, these kids today, oh my God, wash your hands. They over-sanitize to where you have lost your natural resistance to surviving in the wild.
Right.
This is ridiculous, guys. It's freaking ridiculous. There's so many things about this generation that I find so ridiculous. This whole thing about, oh, everybody must get a trophy because you cannot hurt their this is going to permanently damage them. Really? You think everybody gets a freaking trophy? No, everybody doesn't get a trophy in life. And that's what you're teaching your kid right now. He's going to grow up to be a spineless wimp.
Exactly.
Real fast on Punch the Monkey. You mentioned like this happens a lot. What is the toughest group? What is the toughest animal to like bring in a new one at the zoo? Is it the monkeys?
Most of the primates. Yeah, the primates. Let me put it this way. The primates are the ones that are hard to do, but it can get done. And most other animals, it can't get done. They will reject them and they'll kill them and they'll charge them away. Most other animals will reject it, and once it's rejected, it's done. But with the primates, for lack of a better term, there seems to be sometimes a form of compassion there. Animals start to understand, okay, all right, he's earning, let's go, let's give him a little break, and then you see that bond build.
What's the easiest group to integrate?
Birds.
Just throw them in there.
Well, no, because birds, you can take the egg of another bird. There's a bird called a cuckoo. As a matter of fact, it doesn't even build a nest. It lays its eggs in the nests of other birds and lets them incubate it and grow it up. And usually it lays its egg in a bird that grows up to be half its size. So when the chicks hatch out, what happens? The cuckoo chick is twice as big as the regular chicks. And what does the cuckoo chick do? It kills the other chicks, throws them out of the nest. And that mother, half the size, by the time it's feeding the chick is bigger than the mother. But instinctively, that mother keeps feeding it, accepts it.
Wow.
One more Punch the Monkey question. I don't know the intelligence level of monkeys. When Punch the Monkey is holding a stuffed orangutan, is the monkey thinking, wow, look at this fellow primate befriended me? Or is the animal thinking, I'm holding a stuffed animal? Like, is there any idea? I'm curious.
I don't think it goes into that depth because I gotta be honest with you, Greg. You could have just taken a nice big towel and wrapped it up in rubber bands. It would have held the towel the same way. That's an instinct in primates. When they're born, they grasp onto their mother's back or their mother's belly and they go onto the hair. So that's kind of like, for lack of a better word, it's kind of like Linus's security blanket. When he holds the blanket, he puts his thumb in his mouth, it's a sedation. It's almost like kids with pacifiers. It's a type of pacifier. And what people are going to find out sooner or later, just like you do with your children, he's going to start distancing himself from that orangutan. He's going to, and then soon the orangutan's forgotten about. It's just a normal process of going from that very dependent juvenile to that less dependent adolescent, and then finally as an adult.
Interesting. Ron, we won't keep you much longer, but I am interested in hearing about what I think is a new side project of yours, Into the Wild, a travel program. Tell me about that.
Yeah, and that's another great thing about this position, Greg. Oh my God, the scam continues to grow because what happens is they've given me a job now that I'm going to be in charge of the travel program. So I'm going to be leading at least 2 trips a year to remote places around the world. This year, I'm taking a trip at the end of October. September. It's September. To 11 national parks in 5 states. And I'm leading these trips. They're all luxury trips. I never take more than 10 people. So it's not one of these cattle calls, okay? I'm doing the national parks. And then when I get back at the end of October, I'm going to India, going to go see the Taj Mahal, going to see tigers in the wild, rhinos in the wild, doing that. Next year, I'm going to the Pantanal to go see jaguars and anacondas and harpy eagles. Then I'm going to go, at the end, I'm going to Kenya to do the Great Migration. I mean, and I'm getting paid for this. I'm getting paid to take these people around the world, to curate these trips. I've been very fortunate, Greg. I've stepped foot on every continent on this planet. If you had told me as some little kid growing up in a city streets with a small apartment in New York City that I would have set foot on every continent on this planet, I would have told you were out of your mind. And yet here I am. I never forget when the American Airlines sent me my first million-miler card. And I'm thinking, I've flown over 1 million miles. Are you serious?
That's correct.
Like I said, I'm the son of immigrants with just nothing except the passion to do what I do and the gift to be able to do it.
Wow.
Ron, I know you're always getting asked, like, where do I go? And I want to go see animals in Africa. Like, you've curated a lot of trips for people just on, all the good places. What's the opposite of that? What are some like overhyped places that you don't recommend people go? Like, a lot of people like to go here, but it's not that good.
Oh, geez. I think everything has its asset. It depends what you're looking for. But I will tell you this: if you're going to go to
South Carolina, sorry,
no, North Carolina is gorgeous. The mountains
South,
of North Carolina.
South. No, I'm from North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
South. Okay. Because I'm saying I've been up in the mountains of North Carolina, and they're stunning. Asheville is a beautiful place. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I will tell you that if you're going to get into animals, don't go to Africa first, because everything after that will disappoint you. Yeah. People go to the Amazon and they think, "Oh my God, it's the Amazon! I'm going to see the jaguars. I'm going to see." You're lucky if you see any of that stuff because you're in a dense forest. And when you do see stuff, you're always kind of looking up all the time. You look up in the trees, and it's not like you go to Africa, you drive out, and then 5 minutes out in the game drive, you're in the middle of 1,000 wildebeest, and you got a pride of lions and stuff like that. So Africa will spoil you. Yeah. If you're going to do Africa last, because after that, it will spoil you.
Wow. Okay. What's second behind Africa though? Like what's if you're into wildlife?
The Pantanal. The Pantanal in Brazil. The Pantanal in Brazil is like the Serengeti of South America. Giant anteaters, jaguars, giant otters, incredible birds. The Pantanal is the max. I mean, for me, it's incredible. And then, of course, places like India, but that's not just for wildlife. India has a combination of culture and wildlife. The Taj Mahal, the temples, all the different markets and stuff. It can be somewhat. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. If you go to all of India, you go to Old Delhi, you can get really depressed because India is a country of extremes, extreme poverty and extreme wealth. There's very little middle class, and it's very difficult sometimes. I mean, one of the things that I remember, one of my first trips to India was, it was such a beautiful country, but then we got into the poverty section, and I remember these little girls, 8, 9 years old, coming up to me with full makeup, like you put on an adult woman, borderline hooker. And that's exactly what they were doing. And as a father of a daughter myself, it made me sick to my stomach that these kids were basically being sent out by their parents, just trying to make ends meet.
Wow.
And it's heart-wrenching. It's heart-wrenching. But yet the culture and the peacefulness. I mean, you hear those, the descriptions of Gandhi, right? The Indian people are really like that. I mean, I just found them to be so peaceful, so welcoming, and so accepting of whatever class they were in. You don't see them saying, "Okay, I'm getting out of this. I'm going to become a millionaire." No, this is what the gods meant me to do.
Wow.
It's calling me. Hold on. No, decline. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Not now, Dan.
Yeah, right.
It's a local news station wanting more of your time to
So anyway, listen, to me, and I'm a huge believer in education. I'm, a huge supporter of the University of Florida, of my high school here. I'm a huge believer in that. Having said that, I don't think there's any greater education than travel.
Yeah, I would agree. It's so enriching. We're going on a cruise in a couple of days, and that's just nothing too really exciting.
A cruise where you're just going to get hammered.
It's open bar.
It is an open bar. Yes, I pay for the drink package, or did that go without saying? Ron, on the way out, I want to mention an update on your upcoming book that I was thrilled to have a hand in, called Sex and the Animals.
Sex and the Animals. The publishers picked it up. It looks like it's going to be published. We'll keep you up to date as things go. But publishing business is tough. We're lucky, Greg. We've written 2 books together. It looks like first one did really well, and looks like the second one's going to get published too. So we'll see.
I think it is, and they're saying between September and December, in time for the holidays. And I happened to Google Sex and the Animals on Amazon Books. And they have you can pre-order now. They're saying that it's coming out December 8th. What Mr. Amazon knows that we don't know, I don't know, but you can pre-order Sex and the Animals now. And that's another byproduct of your legendary career, is that your Sex and the Animals presentations became so popular that they spawned a book. So
Yeah, well,
Good
and
for
why
you.
did that happen, Greg? It happened because you guys taught me how to tell a story. Now, if you watch Sex and the Animals, I've been on the Levitard show.
Yeah.
Ron, I want to just on the way out here tell you how awesome Sean Magill is. He's been doing work with us for the Levitard show. He does great work, but he's just a decent dude. And it's just, you did a great job raising him. I love that his name is Sean, Ron and Sean Magill. Did you do that on purpose? The Sean, because it rhymes with my name?
It was his mother. It was whatever his mother wanted. Happy life, happy wife, happy life.
I love it.
There you go.
But just genuinely, great guy.
I'm not trying to be the Mutual Admiration Society, but I'm very thankful to you guys for giving him the opportunity. There's so many guys like him, videographers, people out there that would give anything to have the opportunity to work on your show with you guys, and you gave it to him, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, Ron, we're going to let you go. I'm excited about the new chapter in your life, and we'll continue to keep in touch, and let's have a celebration.
You're going to be on the Levitard show still regular. Like you're still
regular.
Going nowhere.
Every other Wednesday. I think we're changing it now to every other Wednesday.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay, good. I'm in on Wednesday, so we'll see you next week. Or no, because I'll be in the Caribbean drinking. But
it's okay. We have Ron on post-retirement before Dan does. So
yeah, we got him.
Ooh, it's a scoop. Okay. All right. Ron.
All right, guys. Slice of heaven, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ron.
Appreciate it.
Sure.
Well, thanks again to Ron Magill, who I've gotten to know much better over the past couple of years, collaborating on The Pride of a Lion and Sex and the Animals, and knowing him better through the Levitard show. So one of my favorite people, and all of the adulation he's gotten since announcing his retirement is deserved. He's truly a South Florida legend. I don't say that about many people. I said it about Edwin Pope, my great mentor, and very few people have had the career that he has.
I feel like a cynic could accuse Ron of making a big announcement when really he's just like shifting his role and he's not retiring at all.
Yeah. That might be legit, because I have to admit when you see the headline Zoo Miami's Ron Magill announces retirement.
Yeah.
I truly did picture him cleaning out his office and leaving Zoo Miami, quote unquote. But it does sound, and this is good news. It does sound like he's going to continue to be sort of the face of Zoo Miami and prevalent in the media. When the next Punch the Monkey happens, he's going to be all over the media talking about it. And there will be another Punch the Monkey story. And when there is, Christopher, your mother will inundate me with cute videos.
It's going to be Kick the Dolphin? What's it going to be?
I don't know.
Mom will find a way to feed that animal.
She will. Yes, she will. Speaking of animals, I have a follow-up from our episode a couple of weeks ago, A Day at the Races, where I witnessed live and in person my horse, Isla Grande. I keep being corrected. It's Isla, not Isla. Isla Grande took a shit on the track. Took a shit on the track. She bumped out of the gate, and she just finished in last place.
Dead last.
And now there's an explanation. Okay, I got a report from...
let me guess, is this like after the Super Bowl I was injured? I lost the Super Bowl, but I want you to know that I had a torn rotator cuff.
Okay. Thoroughbred racehorses are very high-strung, finicky animals.
Sounds like
they're very prone to injury, and Team Valor International announced that Isla Grande suffered a tear to her right hind proximal suspensory ligament, most likely coming out of the gate. That's a serious injury to horses. She's going to need 4 to 6 months of downtime to recover. So we're hoping she's healthy and racing again by late this year. So that's...
You sound so bored saying that.
It's... I don't mean...
Please jack this up to 2.5, folks.
Okay, I don't mean to sound bored. I do mean to sound depressed.
My horse hurt its leg.
Okay,
when it came in last place.
I refuse to be chipper and upbeat when I'm talking about my horse losing me a lot of money by not being able to race for 6 months.
Yeah.
I had great expectations for this animal, And right out the gate, literally, she's injured and is going to be sidelined for a half a year. That's bad news.
You're 0 for 2 on these horses, huh?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, are you the Michael Jordan of horse ownership?
I don't know what that means.
I feel like, people that do well in daily fantasy, they play hundreds of lineups. Like, you don't get success in like daily fantasy by just playing one lineup. I feel like people that own horses probably own dozens of horses with just the hope that like one or two will do anything. So it's
That's probably true.
You're it's a tough game you're trying to get in with just like picking one horse at a time.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. It is. But
put your money where your mouth is. Quadruple your investment. Let's get 5 horses. Let's go.
Okay. All right. What I should do
5 horse tips of 5 horses' ears.
Quadrupling would mean 4 horses, I guess.
I should buy a bigger share of the horse.
What? Wow, you just want so you're more invested in one horse.
No, I'm going to buy more horses and a bigger share.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're going to own like you'll own the horse cock instead of
If you've ever seen a horse cock.
That's what I mean. Right now you just own the foot, but you could buy the cock.
You could put it like that. Okay, I wouldn't, but you could.
Sorry, Sloan.
Okay, moving on.
Greg, we actually have some poll updates.
Ooh.
Oh,
we don't do polls a ton.
Yeah.
We leave most of that to the Le Batard show. But last week was the most heated our text exchange has ever been.
Yeah, you guys just being dum-dums.
Hand versus Loofah, or which one of our listeners referred to as Chris's Dookie Loofah. That
good description.
That was my favorite response.
I saw a couple of responses like that. You guys know that I wipe my ass when I shit. Like, I'm not getting into who's getting into the shower with an ass full of shit? Like, I use dude wipes. I am thorough. I do not stop wiping until I don't see a mark.
Oh, those dude wipes are really bad for your pipes. They say they're not.
Maybe not dude. They're not dude wipes. There's some wet wipe that is that's flush friendly. Whatever. Maybe
allegedly.
They're not. Whatever.
All right.
All I know is like the idea that I'm getting into the shower with an ass full of shit is just not happening.
Nobody does.
Right. That's
Nobody
my point.
does.
Is like it's not like and like maybe like twice a year I'll be cleaning down under and it'll pop up and I'll be like, whoa, that's something immediately in the garbage.
Okay.
I'm not letting there's not some shit rag.
Okay.
It's got fecal matter in it though.
A bit too much.
Okay, then your wrist has fecal matter on it, and by that math.
Who digs their wrist down there? Like you keep referring to the wrist, and that drives me nuts because I'm like, what am I going to do?
Because it's a hilarious credit card machine.
True, but to the wrist? Come on.
You haven't seen my dad work.
You've watched your dad in the shower?
I have.
We're a close
episode
family.
3 of the Greg Cote show.
Yeah. We're
a close family.
Episode 1 we were in a closet. Episode 3 we were in the shower.
Yeah, just a couple of days ago, Erlene and I, Christopher and Charlie were all in the shower together.
Sliding away.
Why Charlie and not Michael?
I don't know, because Michael was with his wife. I don't know why you were in the shower with us. You speak for yourself. Anyway,
so our polls. All right, so we did 2. One was do you use a bar of soap or body wash, and the other was do you use what do you use to wash your butt crack? So soap versus body wash. Body wash came out on top, 59% to 41%. That's okay, cool. Like I prefer a bar of soap. It just moves faster.
Faster. What does that even mean in that sentence?
But I'm able to wash myself faster. Especially you and I both mentioned that we'll go back to our armpits a lot. When we're in the shower. That is something I'm really obsessive about. The bar of soap just works better for me, but I do have body wash on occasion. Like I really like the stronger scented ones. But okay, so what do you use to wash your butt crack? Soapy hand, loofah, or the direct bar of soap? With 51% of the vote, soapy hand. All right, 32% loofah, 17% bar of soap.
All right, a narrow victory for the soapy hand.
It's a clear victory over me. There
are articles that say it's more sanitary.
I'm sure I could find an article that says using a bar of soap is bad.
I tried to get a microbiologist on here, but they never responded.
Okay. It's because they knew they were like, Yeti's embarrassing himself. He's a hand wiper. He's a hand cleaner.
All right. What's the other poll?
That was it. The other was bar soap versus body wash.
Okay. All right. I thought there were 2 polls, no?
He read both of them.
What was the first one?
It was
what was the result?
It was bar of soap or body lotion, first poll.
Body wash came out 59.41.
And then
wow,
the
those
second
are close
one,
polls, both of them. Yeah.
I love how he hears it for the third time and it finally clicks.
Yeah.
Where's my click?
Yes. Before we get to the catchphrase countdown, speaking of where's my click, and dad jokes and 3-Fact Jack, I want to mention something that's been in my crawl lately. In my crawl like food. And that is, I don't know what made me, actually, I do know what made me think of this. I was thinking of last meals on death row and how strange it is that just before we put to death society's most heinous criminals, we send them out with a lavish meal of their choosing. It just seems weird to me. Like, and a couple of states, Texas comes to mind. A couple of states have already abolished that tradition.
Really?
Okay, just before you inject or otherwise kill somebody because they committed a heinous crime, you get a meal like any other prisoner. You don't get to pick your lobster and your steak and all that stuff. But and other states put price limits on it. Like you can't just order $1,000 worth of food. Like the state of Florida has a $40 limit. Okay, so you can order like
which
a nice
nowadays gets you about
like a Chick-fil-A sandwich,
an appetizer.
Right.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, you can get a lobster tail and a steak for $40, but
No,
your
you
point
can't.
is
Not
Yeah, you
anymore.
can.
Greg,
I mean, maybe if I'm cooking it myself at a restaurant,
Yeah.
steak, you think like a what's it called, a surf and turf meal, which with a steak and a lobster,
that's 50
is
minimum. At
minimum
best.
50.
It is, but if you buy the steak and the lobster tail and you cook it in the prison kitchen, it's probably under $40. But let's not parse the money.
We are getting in the weeds here.
Yes. What I was thinking is, and I have my list here, I'm curious what you guys think. If I was on death row and had to choose a last meal, what would I choose?
I've seen famous ones of like, famous people and what their last meal was. A couple of people like a glass of water. Like there's been some random ones where people just are like, I'll take your tradition and I'll mock it by just ordering a glass of water.
The glass of water people are full of shit. They're just trying to make a statement. I'm high and mighty. I'm going to be the guy who just drinks a glass of water. And what I'm having is a bone-in medium ribeye steak with peppercorn gravy, 2 glasses of Camus Cabernet Sauvignon, well-done pepperoni pizza, garlic parm chicken wings, all flat, a half pound of crispy bacon, a Maine lobster tail with drawn butter, a bowl of maple walnut ice cream, and a glass of Courvoisier 30-year XO Royal.
I love that you can only eat 2 bites of.
Yeah. I love the detail of 2 glasses of wine.
I have to have 2 glasses because it's not always a generous pour. Sometimes you get a glass of wine and you're thinking you're a little light on that pour.
So can we parenthetically 1 glass if it's a good pour?
If it's a good pour. Like when we go to our local Italian restaurant and the waiter knows us and we're like almost friends with him.
The Messi fan.
Yes. What a pour he gives your mother. I mean, you can tell he's pouring the wine because it's like it's a full glass of wine. It's ridiculous, the generous pour. But you can't count on that. So that's why, just to play it safe, as I'm about to be gassed and killed, I get 2 glasses of my favorite Cabernet. Okay. Do you guys have a last meal or no?
Yeah. Do you?
What would yours be, Yeti?
Mine, I mean, look, there are no meals that make me happier than fried chicken, whatever side I want, but fried chicken and root beer. Like, give me that. That's my favorite meal.
Fried chicken. I wasn't even thinking that, but that's good. I love fried chicken.
I love fried chicken so much, and it shows.
Same.
It shows. But I love it so much, and so like fried chicken, root beer. I can do it without sides. I usually don't even like if I'm just going out to lunch and getting fried chicken and root beer. That's all. I'm not getting sides. Who needs it?
Really? What? Like from like KFC, you'll just get like a 5-piece.
Dude, I'm not eating at KFC.
Popeyes.
So Bojangles, Popeyes, or even Kroger does a really good fried chicken. And
really?
So, yeah.
No, I'm a Popeyes man.
Yeah, I love Popeyes.
And so yeah, that's me.
All right, Christopher.
But if I wanted to be rude, I'd find something that would like give me diarrhea as soon as I die. Like just to be like.
I'd have to think about it. Obviously, I don't have one just off the top of my head. Fried chicken sounds good. Maybe some like some queen crab lobster.
Mm-hmm.
Not lobster. Queen crab. Why did I say queen crab lobster? Queen crab legs.
Okay.
I prefer crab to lobster.
Okay. You're allowed.
Yeah, I don't know. And some good sides, some mashed potatoes, probably some good gravy.
Okay. Before
Ice
I get
cold
to
Coke on the rocks. By the way, that's my like drink of choice if I'm going down. I'm not. Why am I drinking alcohol? Like,
you want the McDonald's drive-through Coke?
Oh, give me
That's your thing, right?
Give me
That's your jam, right?
I love a ice fountain Coca-Cola, not one of these modern machines where it tastes like the combination of every soda. I'm talking about the good old fashioned.
Wow,
that's me. That's my limited fake fountain soda.
That was good. Yeah, you had me there. Okay, before I get to dead jokes, 3 facts, Jack, and catchphrase countdown, I want to talk.
We're never going to get to it.
That's another tease.
The March Madness. Tease. March Madness is coming up. You all remember what we did a year ago for March Madness?
I don't.
We did baskets.
We did our top 5 marches, brackets, baskets, and balls.
Yes.
I'm going to announce.
That was a good bit.
I'm going to announce. Now, next week's episode, the one after this, is going to be live from me on a Caribbean cruise.
Well, not the whole thing.
Not the whole thing, but part of it is. But the episode after that is going to be our next March Madness episode, and we're going to have 4 different categories. They won't be marches, brackets, baskets, and balls, but there will be 4 categories related to March Madness. So look forward to that.
Tell people what it's going to be, Greg.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
We don't know yet. I honestly,
I thought he was about to tell us, Chris.
I got a long list of possibilities here, but I haven't decided.
Let me hear some of the possibilities.
Nets, floors, glass, hoops, vital, paint, pools, the number 68, and the word madness. Those are my initial list. I haven't really even.
I think there's. I like 4. I heard 4 good ones in there.
Okay, what do you like? I'll circle them.
I like net. Wait, no. Read them again.
Nets, floors, hardwood, glass, hoops, vital,
nets, hoops. Keep going.
Okay, nets, hoops, vital, paint, pools, the number 68, and madness.
Pools, and then either madness or 68.
Okay. We'll make that announcement next week.
Even though I just did it.
Well, it's not official until I sign off on it.
2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
All right. I need catchphrases. I need it.
Before dad jokes and 3 facts, Jack?
Yes.
Like we typically do, Greg. The Greg Cote Show with Greg Cote, in partnership with Greg Cote, presents Greg Cote's Top 50 Catchphrase Countdown. Brought to you by Greg Cote.
All right, this is the 10th installment of the Greg Cote Show with Greg Cote, in partnership with Greg Cote, presents Greg Cote's Top 50 Catchphrase Countdown, brought to you by Greg Cote. 2 per week like Noah's Ark.
Hey, Greg, instead of me speeding up, why don't you speed it up?
Yeah.
The recount.
Yeah.
Give it to us as fast as you can. Go for it.
Okay. And the countdown thus far. 50, I'm full and Vern Fuller. 49, where's my click? 48, hey, but a finger. 47, punt. 46, Scranton. 45, I'm busy in the worn on paper hanger. 44, Georgia. 43, I'm the kind of guy that. 42, ball on the jack. 41, hey, with the monkeys, baby. 40, thank you, Billy. 39, I love him like a pet. 38, who made it a salad? 37, we're rolling now, huh? 36, your brain beating me. 35, let's go state. 34, driver comfort is paramount. 33, dummy up, save up. And now.
Wait. Take your applause. Great work, Greg. That was tremendous. And you didn't die. Tremendous.
I didn't. I just ran out of breath, which is close to dying. Number 32. Catches catch can.
Wow.
Okay, I want to know the story on this because
that's a powerhouse.
You've referenced it a couple times, but it's not.
Catch can is when we don't know what we're having for dinner. To me, this has like only one saying. It's food related, mainly dinner, sometimes lunch, never breakfast.
Right.
Like, we're not going to do a big meal thing. We're going to catch as catch can. We're going to, pick. You eat cereal. You can have the leftovers from last night. We're all just going to catch as catch can.
The only time, not the only time, but the most frequent use for me, and I did this a couple of nights ago. I'm home. It's this time. I'm thinking dinner. Your mother's still at work, but she's about to be home. And I'm texting her, what do you want to do for dinner tonight? I can make this or that. We can order in, or we can just catch as catch can from the fridge in the cupboard.
You write that in a text?
Yeah, I dictate it in the text.
Or we can catch as catch can. Does that does it understand your sentence? Or it's like, what are those
catch
words?
as catch can, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've heard it outside of you, but so what's the origin of that for you? Where did you pick that up and start using it?
I think I've always used it as just like fend for ourselves.
No, but where'd you get it from? Like,
I don't know.
Why do I always think everything comes from Uncle Dick, but it feels like something he could have said?
I don't recall either of my parents saying it. Uncle Dick may have said it. I don't know, but I think it's just something. I don't know the etymology of the phrase. Like, I don't know how or when it began. I'm sure I didn't invent it.
No, you didn't.
And I usually just use it in terms of food. I think you're right about that. I'm trying to think of another example of a context
I only know it through dinner even. Like, I've never even heard you say it about lunch. It's always just like, it's dinner time. What do you guys, you want to order something? Catch can? What are we doing?
Those are nights at our home where we will have what Jane calls SOS, and it's either sugar on shit or shit on a shingle.
Okay. Shit on a shingle was something my father used to say.
Military, yeah.
Military. Yes, that's exactly right.
Just put something on toast, shit on a shingle.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever leftovers you got.
Yeah, it was like my dad used to describe it as in the Army, one of their go-to shit on a shingle meals was toast with like chipped corned beef.
Yes. That's a common one when she's going to do SOS.
Apparently, the phrase has roots with wrestling. I just typed it into Google, and it says catch as catch can refers to managing a situation by any means available, often implying improvisation, limited resources, and a haphazard approach.
You know what? I may remember JR saying that back when I was watching wrestling. I may have got that may be my first instance.
It originates from the 19th century, something England grappling style where wrestlers can hold an opponent anywhere to force a pin or submission.
Okay. I think that applies to how I use it in food, where essentially you're saying, let's improvise for dinner. Let's look in the cupboard and the freezer and just see what we can come up with. Catch as catch can. That was number 32. Number 31. Doesn't make it right.
Wow. So this is one I don't recall hearing you say.
Doesn't make it right. And you got to say it like that.
Probably should have been back toward the 50s, but carry on.
Well, we're stopping at 50. So if it was in the 50s, it wouldn't have made the list.
Back toward 50, I should say.
Oh, okay.
In the high 40s.
Doesn't make it right is something that I say a fair amount, not a ton. But again, the pronunciation of that is key.
Got to be like one word.
Yeah, it's got to be like one word and sort of said under the breath almost. Doesn't make it right. Almost like an afterthought.
In the same vein as that kind of thing.
It could be.
Just in the delivery.
In the delivery, yes.
Not meaning, though, yeah.
No, I'm just saying the way you have to say that kind of thing is one word, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Right. When was the last time you used it on Chris?
I don't know. When was it?
It's usually
Can you think of an example where you used it then?
I picture him saying, "Doesn't make it right" about like other people. Like it'll be like a guy driving, and I'll be like, "Wow, that guy just made a wild left turn there. Don't make it right."
Yeah, exactly. It's generally
it's usually judging people from like far away.
It's a judgmental, disparaging phrase.
Don't make it right.
Yeah. Plus, if someone is praising someone unduly, I might object by saying doesn't make it right.
Unduly or taking the attention away from you?
Yeah, well, something like that. Anyway,
doesn't make it right.
Okay, we are now 31 in.
Rach has given us an idea, Chris, for you and me. We need to rank our top 5 that Greg omits, that he didn't include
I like that.
at the end of all of this.
All right. That's a good idea. And once we get close, once we get into the top 15, near in the top 10, I'm going to actively bring you two more into the list than you have been so far.
Why is the list not complete right now?
I have three pages.
I want the chaos.
3 pages.
But the idea that the way you're doing this is just looking at a page of 75 things and just being like, this works.
Yeah,
You
there's
should
no
get
reason-
your, like, you
There's
don't
no
understand.
reason this should be above Scranton or hey, Butterfinger.
Doesn't make it right.
You see, like, I feel like this is kind of like the looks like tournament, which we've been seeding. Like, nobody agrees. Like,
Right.
I sent out a bunch of looks like to our crew to like seed them. And like Roy will have what as a 1 seed and Tony has it as a 12 seed. Like,
of course.
on this type of stuff. And I don't think Scranton's a good one, Yeti. Like, you said Scranton should have been higher. Like, I think that's shouldn't even have made the list, Scranton.
Right,
So
but
it's like,
higher
I
than
feel
the
like,
2 he just gave. It's more well known, at least.
no, but I disagree. I think
Okay.
both. I mean, if we're just doing my dad, like, I think of my dad saying the 2 things he said today way more than Scranton.
Yeah.
Okay. But I love the disagreement. I love the idea that there's argument.
It
But
does
just the
make for
idea,
conversation.
but just the idea that every week you're just picking 2 off of the list and adding it, as opposed to putting the full list together, is absurd.
I do my due diligence every week.
Here we go.
I do. No, I do. And I like the spontaneity, though, of
My
not
due
having the
diligence.
list pre-made.
You do, and
That
then you
kinda
clean
thing.
it, and then you clean it with your hand.
Hey, dad jokes, huh?
He's always kind of thinking that his puns are in vogue. He cracks himself up like an egg with a yolk. And now Chris's morale is broke. Dad jokes.
Number 3. Where does an animal go if it loses its tail?
I don't know.
I don't know.
To a retail store.
Okay. I'm not
Number
laughing,
2.
but okay.
An okay is an affirmation. Thank you, Yeti. Number 2. Why did the restaurant employees steal an electric mixer from work?
The what employee?
Why did the restaurant employees steal an electric mixer from work?
This is going to be so bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was a risk he was willing to take.
This segment may need to be suspended.
Number 1. How does a witch verify that her hex is correct?
I don't know.
She uses spell check.
I like that one. All right. That's okay.
Thank you.
3 facts,
Oh, look,
Jack.
I got one of those calls that says scam likely.
It's Ron McGill Foundation.
Yeah, there you go.
Increasing
Trying to
the
beg money
scam.
from me.
Do you think there's anyone out there named Scam Likely?
Probably. Isn't there a famous athlete named Isaiah Likely?
That's what I mean. Likely, famous is doing a lot of lifting there. I don't know
Yeah.
how famous he is, but there is a Likely tight end. I
Yeah.
think he's a free agent. One of the
Yeah.
but I just
And-
picture
and
like
he-
I guess someone's first name Scam would be weird.
Doesn't
Well,
make it right.
there's a lot of Cams, so it's not a stretch. If my last name was Likely, I absolutely would name my son Scam.
Stephen Cameron Likely.
Do you think there's
S.
any
Cam
Cameron Likely's out there? Let's look it up. Yeah,
Cam Likely.
I want to get a Cameron Likely on the show.
It can't be Cameron though; it has to be Cam.
But no, he goes by Cameron. Cameron Likely, minor league stats.
Hey.
What?
In 01 to 04, he played. He had some single A, some double A. I love this. We gotta find this guy.
Okay.
Oh, he's from Port St. Joe. That's where the paper mill is.
Wow.
I thought he's born in Pensacola, Florida.
How about that? A Floridian. 3 facts, Jack.
There are 3 things that interest him, so sit right back for 3 facts, Jack.
Number 3. The microstructure of both indicates that human teeth are as strong as shark's teeth.
I just can't believe the other day on the Levitard show you said that you could just like punch a shark in the water and it would like run away from you.
I can't believe we didn't ask McGill that.
It's so
Because
obvious.
I am absolutely correct.
No. I've heard that before, that if you ever get in that spot, like attack, like hitting them on the snout is the way to do it. But like,
Okay.
it's not going to work.
If
You're going to be underwater going.
It's better than doing nothing.
Thank you.
Gouging the eye, punching the nose. You know, that's
Right. You're not going to grapple it. You can't like grab it around the neck.
You're going to tickle it under its chin, Chris? Is that what you're going to do? Or are you going to wipe its ass with a loofah?
I would start pleasuring it.
There you go. Okay.
The dolphin will take you up on that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Rubbing its belly. All of a sudden, the shark's going to be like on its back, like, ah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm punching the shark and saving your life.
Punch.
Punch the monkey. Punch the shark. Number 2. Why did that was a dad joke. Sorry. Wrong category. Number 2. By a more than 2-to-1 margin over ketchup, the biggest selling condiment in the U.S. is mayonnaise.
Really?
Yeah, yep. I would have figured that.
That surprised me. I would have said ketchup.
You know what's disgusting?
And by more than a 2-to-1 margin.
What? You know what's disgusting? Out in Utah when I was living in Salt Lake, Jell-O's the state food, but they'll serve it to you savory, like with meat or onions in it, and they'll top it not with Cool Whip or whipped cream, but with Miracle Whip. Disgusting.
If you had to get into a hot tub full of a condiment, what condiment are you picking?
Oh, man. Probably hot sauce.
Oh.
Dude, that's going to burn your ding-dong.
Hot sauce?
Not necessarily. What am I going to pick?
That's going to burn your ding-dong.
Literally the worst choice you could make.
Mayonnaise is going to curdle in hot water.
Dad, it's not that it's full. It's just filled with the condiment. There's no water.
I see what you mean. Okay. In that case, ketchup.
No, too oily. I go ranch.
Yeah. Okay. Olive oil is a condiment. Okay. Give me something like that. It's not going to cause me any damage. I'll feel all like smooth and slippery when I get it,
I feel like
some
olive
ranch.
Oil.
Put me in ranch and then hand me a platter of like vegetables. Wow. And I'll just be sitting in there dipping away.
Dipping from what is washing you. Yeah. Buttcrack ranch is the flavor there. Okay.
That's they're coming out with that actually. That variation.
Buttcrack ranch. Come on down to the Buttcrack ranch.
Do you think that was ever pitched in the ranch meetings?
Probably.
They're like, hey, no bad ideas. We want to go viral. Spit them at me. Throw me your ideas. What do we got? Spicy ranch. Nope, don't like that too. Buttcrack ranch. Okay, let me hear more on this.
Seriously, that's a read me headline. Buttcrack ranch.
On that, read me headlines are different than clickbait. Chris last week associated them as the same. Read me headline is something that's like just to draw you in. So they're similar family. Clickbait is deceiving. How when we'll say we have Stugatz on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, when he's really not, or it's an old clip. That's clickbait.
Right.
We're baiting them in solely for the click. It's totally different. The readme could very well, that headline could be exactly what's going on in the story. So I think they're similar families, but there is a differentiator.
I agree. I think that's a good distinction.
Shit. Carry on. Was that 2 or 3 facts? I've already forgotten what you said.
That's 2. The microstructure of human teeth and shark teeth and the biggest selling condiment. 3 facts. Jack, number 1. Derbyshire, England hosts an annual World Toe Wrestling Championship.
I wonder if you're better off with longer toes or shorter toes. What is the advantage?
You definitely want longer toes.
I mean,
my middle toes are as long as my pinky.
The long, lean toe, I think, would have the advantage.
What about giant toenails, Greg? Would you even be allowed to participate?
I would be seated number 1 because of that.
I think this is a repeat.
Yeti, I want to request to share. We're going to watch some toe wrestling right here.
Go for it.
I've never talked about toe wrestling on this show.
I am almost certain we have talked about toe wrestling.
Really?
Yes. It's probably.
In Derbyshire, England, hosting the annual?
Now,
look at this. Really... So it's 2 heavy-set guys. We could play this sport. Guys, we look like these competitors. We could play this sport. All right, we're watching it now. It's 2 heavy-set guys. We got the big toe versus the total destruction. And there they go.
Great.
Oh, wow, it's a quick match. Oh, so it's like a thumb war.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Oh.
Yeah, I would excel.
Oh, great. Vibram being the sponsor of that. That's perfect.
Yeah. Look at this. That guy's, hey, you don't mess with the big toe. The big toe, you don't mess with him.
We have covered this before. It's been a few years, but I know we've covered this before.
So those look like quick matches. Like they're over in like 10 seconds, right?
I mean, they're pros. I mean, they know what they're doing there.
And they look like pros.
They're toes.
Yeah, they are. Toe wrestling, pro wrestling. Hey, everybody. Is that it? Are we done?
I think so.
Okay. Excellent show. Thank you to Ron Magill for joining us, the legendary Ron Magill.
If you would have said when we started this podcast that we will do the topic Buttcrack Ranch at some point,
yeah,
would you have?
That might be the name of this episode.
There's no other podcast in America that's talking about Buttcrack Ranch.
I'm really proud of it.
I am too. And more of that next week. Next week we come to you from the Caribbean, and the week after that, it's our March Madness special. Pardon me? Yeah. Anyway.
What was that noise? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm taking the rest of the night off.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Good night, Pod family.
Don't make
See
it
you
right.
next week.
Don't make it right.
Don't make it right.
Doesn't make it right. See you next week.
Buttcrack Ranch.